Cloth flammable? No. Wood flammable? No. Skin flammable? Yes. Makes sense. Well, here we are. Second dungeon.
Hey, little guy. Long time no see. I always knew you'd come back. You know, I never stopped believing in you. You're here to take control of old Rudania back from Ganon, eh? You're gonna need a map that shows the guts of this place.
I love that line. I mean, again, he doesn't tell you what the map actually does either, but I still love that line.
You can grab the info from the guidance stone over there. Now get a move on.
As you can imagine, because we can do these in any order, they function very similarly. The difference being, this one has slightly different gimmicks. And I think the torch is over there somewhere. There it is. Well, I guess that's one way to light it. Oh, you're gonna shoot me. Alright, I think that glimpse gave me an idea of where the torch is. I think it's over there. Just missed it. I'm sure that's where it is. Anyway, there are a bunch of these around. Probably want to destroy them sooner rather than later. I never really mentioned what they were, but it was probably pretty obvious. And again, I guess not again, this place is pretty dark. So it's designed for you to not be able to see where you're going. And they do have torches in... I press the B button to jump again. I'm sorry, this is gonna happen. When you play 50 hours of another video game where the B button is jump, you're gonna mix them up. But one or two of these treasure chests do have something that you can use as a torch. Either a real torch or a makeshift torch. So they do give you what you need to get here. But no, you don't need to adjust your monitor. The place is actually pitch black. I don't know if turning up the brightness or contrast would even make a difference. It's just black. You can memorize where it is, and maybe based on where the purple goop is, you might be able to use a visual cue to shoot the torches. But otherwise, good luck finding your way around.
Nice job getting the map of the Divine Beast. The terminals that control Rudania are noted by the glowing points on your map. To take back Rudania, you'll need to activate all of the terminals. You got this, little guy.
And thankfully, the shades open up so we can actually see what we're doing now. It's just important to note that while you're in here, you don't actually need the heat resistance, or the fire resistance. You do need it outside, and we will be going outside, but you don't need it inside. I don't know why. I'm sure they had... Oh, who am I kidding? Of course they didn't have any logical reason for it. It's just the way it is. I don't think we need that either. I mean, we will need a torch at some point, so I guess I'll just keep this out. I don't anticipate fighting anything. So, you might remember with Ruda, we were able to adjust how its trunk spouted water. Here, did that not activate it? There we go. We can rotate this thing 90 degrees. So that's going to be the gimmick of this one.
There are 4 terminals remaining. That's the way.
But other than that, this thing functions pretty much identically to the way Ruda did. Do the 5 terminals, or activate the 5 terminals, then activate the main terminal, and probably fight a boss. That's all there is to it. obviously some of those things will be more difficult than others. Do I want to do... trying to think of the order I want to do these things in. Because the fire that we need is here. Well, that's the first thing we'll set on fire. The second thing is in here. I'm not sure if this is the first thing we'll want to do. Oh, did you say that my bow is about to... oh yeah, the bow's damaged. Well, we've been using the bow quite a bit. So yeah, just like with Ruda, I'm going to be flying through these puzzles as quickly as I can because I've already done them and I don't really care. They should be pretty self-explanatory, I think. Just manipulate the Divine Beast to get to the terminal and move on.
There are 3 terminals remaining. Alright, let's get moving.
And you don't need to do them in any particular order. I think this one in particular took me the longest time to figure out because when I first got here I never thought to use the bow and arrow to carry a flame. So it took me a little extra effort to learn that one. I'm not sure if I'm necessarily proud of it, but I figured it was a little info nugget worth mentioning.
There are 2 terminals remaining. Just a little more.
Rudania was actually the... I forget... are you worth getting? Rudania was the very last of the Divine Beasts that I did in my first playthrough. And I imagine a lot of people were like that considering how difficult it is to get to geographically, all of the environmental hazards that are in your way. Particularly figuring out how to get through the fire resistance, or to get the fire resistance that you need. I don't know if this will last long enough to get me there. I might have to use a proper torch. Because if you use a torch, like a normal torch, the torch will never... hang on. Oh, I need to... dang. Well, here we are in an active volcano and somebody is cooking is setting off the fire alarm outside. Great. So where were we? A proper torch will never burn out, so to speak. Whereas, if you keep a wooden weapon on fire for too long, it will eventually burn up. A normal torch, as far as I can tell, and maybe it's not true, a proper torch will never burn out. Maybe if you light it on fire by some other means, it will. But a regular torch will not. Anyway, we need to light this thing, so that opens up. Now the interesting thing is, this blue fire, we can take it outside and our club will not burn up. If we take the blue fire off, now the wooden weapon starts to burn. When I first got here, I tried to bring a torch up here, and I realized that outside, your wooden weapons will catch fire. So I said, okay, maybe there's got to be some other way for me to light that rather than bring the blue fire up here. Because the blue fire would probably make it burn up, right? No, that's not how it works, apparently. Where am I going? Is it on the other side? I think it's on the other side. The idea is we want to bring the ball down here, and then when the ball gets here, we raise the box. The ball will go through at some point. There it goes. So that gives you an idea of where we are.
Just one terminal remaining. Just one more.
Yes, I can count. Thank you, Daruk. Seriously, though, I really do like Daruk as a character. He's the kind of person you wouldn't mind sitting down having a beer with, you know? Seems like a swell guy. But out here, everything is burning and on fire, so you want to be careful to have the fire resistance that you need, and not to use anything flammable. I always forget where the last terminal is. Can I stand on this? I can stand on this. So it'll give me a good vantage point. I think it's in there. Did that hit it? It did, good. Is that the one I wanted to hit, though? Oh, it's in there, that's right. Okay, I remembered. I think I remembered. Oh, there's another... Shoot, where is it? You're gonna kill me. Oh yeah, that's not enough to kill you. Usually if you just shoot it... I'm trying to think, because I don't know if I can reach the eye when this thing isn't flipped. Can I make it back up? No. Well, I tried to save it. We'll just have to climb up there again, I suppose. You didn't shoot another one of those off, did you? Trying to think, how did I get up there last time? I didn't climb up the back. I don't think that's necessary. Am I on the other side of it? Yeah, I'm on the other side, that's why. How are we going to work this out? Because it's up there. I don't think you can just climb it. That should work. That won't work. It was an idea. This is the only one of them I'm kind of hesitant on. I never remember a fast way to get it. Oh, that's the opposite direction. Right. Yeah, let's not do that. Yeah, this is one of those I never remember how to get the fast or easy way. I feel like it's the only part of any of the Divine Beasts I'm still kind of sketchy on. This is the one, right? That has the terminal on it. You can walk on it. Link... Oh, thank God. I didn't think he was actually standing on anything. That scared me.
Nice. That was the last terminal. Now go ahead and start up the main control unit. There should be a new glowing mark on your map. You're gonna need to make your way over to that. Stay focused, little guy.
Now, I'm wondering... We only have 3 hearts. Is Mipha's Grace active? It looks like it's... Still have a minute left. Okay, tell you what, we will... I guess for the first time we'll have one of these. I'll also use... I guess we'll use that. I'm not sure if ice arrows are more effective, but they'll make me feel better. I think we're looking good. Oh, one other thing I never mentioned is that after you get all 5 of the terminals, The music is actually different. It adds a couple of instruments, goes faster. It's a neat little touch, and one that you don't really notice because you just make a beeline straight for the terminal.
Watch yourself now! That ugly pain in the crag is Ganon's handiwork. Thing got the best of me 100 years ago. Good luck, little guy. Go get him!
Will do, Daruk, buddy.
Watch out for that sword!
Now the thing is, when he does that, his eye actually... Oh, I'm trying to do the charge attack, but it's not working. Come on, one more hit. I'm one hit away from his second phase. Really? I tried to hold the button down, but for whatever reason I wasn't doing it. Anyway, this guy's pretty much of a pansy. I don't know why I even bothered to use the hardy food. Also, if you faced any of the Octoroks on the way up Death Mountain, don't go over the... Please don't go where you... Don't... No. Actually, that's fine. Alright. I guess we got one more round of this now. So he tilts his head back a bit, so it's difficult to get two in a row on him. But the fire does significant damage, more than you would think it would. He also has another attack where he throws a fireball at you that will explode on contact, but you can get rid of that fireball just by shooting it with an ice arrow. Just a little tidbit I don't think many people are aware of because you don't really try it, but it's an option.
Great work, little guy! I owe you big for this. Because of you, my spirit is finally free. Can't thank you enough. I feel like I should apologize. I was doing all I could to protect Hyrule when that thing got the best of me. Sorry that me resting with the rubble caused such a mess. The good news is, Rudania is now back under our control. That means that our century-old Ganon beatdown plan can finally go into effect. I'm gonna take this down the mountain. I'll have a better shot at Ganon there. And then, once you've made your way into Hyrule Castle, we're gonna light that thing up. I want to give you something. It's a special power of mine called Daruk's Protection. It's no good to me now that I'm a spirit, but it might be useful for you. Here it comes! From this moment forth, the power of protection from the depths of my soul now lives inside you. Good luck, little guy. And give my regards to the princess.
Now, obviously, the trek up Death Mountain with Yunobo in the stealth section wasn't nearly as thrilling as the fight with Faruda, but I thought it was interesting in its own right, and it didn't follow the same issue that most escort missions have, where your escort is basically just a punching bag that you have to protect. Yunobo can protect himself. It's just a matter of clearing a path for him and not dying yourself. So I thought that was a bit interesting. Rudania as a divine beast wasn't too complicated. The one thing that gave me the most trouble was realizing that you could carry a torch with a blue flame without it catching fire.
Well, that ought to do it. We're set here. Now we just gotta wait for the perfect shot. Once Link is in the castle, Rudania will unleash an epic blast. Ganon won't know what hit him. Hyrule looks pretty good from up here, even after 100 years. The old rolling grounds sure are a sight for sore eyes. I wonder how the Gorons fared after the Great Calamity. I sure hope everyone down there is still going strong after every... Huh? Hey, look at that. Still going strong indeed. Ha! Huh.
Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
I mean, in fairness, he's just a kid, and what he witnessed was probably one of the most improbable things you could consider, but it's still really weird and out of place. Either way, we have Daruk's protection now, so if we're holding down the protect ourselves with a shield button, Daruk's protection will hold up, and it will prevent us from taking damage up to 3 times before it recharges. We have to have the button held down, otherwise it won't protect us. And of course it has a cooldown after you use it 3 times. Hey, Nobo. Nah. You must be seeing things.
Huh?
Really? I guess I have to. I mean, really, Yunobo is just a kid. So it feels weird for me to judge him as a character. But, I mean, the one thing that I think a lot of people don't necessarily like is the way they chose a particularly high-pitched voice for Yunobo, considering that even the childlike Gorons that are like half to a third your height, like this guy, they have a lower pitched voice than Yunobo does. It just feels kind of weird. That's really the only thing I have against him. I mean, the job the voice actor did, I think is fine. It's really just that the high pitch of the voice is kind of out of place for the Gorons. I mean, even the Japanese VA had a high-pitched voice actor, too. It's just weird, like, after all these years, you have all these really manly Goron voices, and then, "Hi, I'm Yunoba!" Maybe it's just me, and I'm too stubborn. Wouldn't be the first time. But of course, just like after we beat Varuda, beating Vah Rudania will give us access to the treasure of the Goron people. You don't say. Well, I haven't found it yet, but I'll keep you posted. And now that that's complete, we have access to this. The question is, do I want to drop a weapon for this? Decisions, decisions. I mean, I partially want to drop this thing, because I'm sure it's low on durability, but at the same time, it's the only thing I have that's flammable. I think I'll drop the Stone Smasher, because what we're getting is just an upgraded version of the Stone Smasher. The Boulder Breaker. So that's nice. But that'll do it for Vah Rudania and the Goron segment, I guess. I regret not mentioning that there was going to be a straw poll to pick the next place that we go, and by the time that you see this video, the straw poll is probably closed because I would have already done the next session. I'll have to figure it out, I guess. But that'll do it for this. And until we go to our next destination, this is UniversalGiant. I'll see you later.